YouTube, man. Welcome back to another reaction video. I know a nigga look crazy right now, but shit, I'm gonna get a haircut, goddamn. So bear with a nigga, shit. But yeah, man. Back to another reaction video. It's your boy She Loves B Law. This is another waste of video. It's rappers who's lost their mind. So we're gonna go ahead and see what's the hell going on, man. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Road to 5K. We already hit 1,000 subs already. Now I just need those 4,000 watch hours, man. So it's your boy She Loves B Law. Let's get it and let go. Ooh! They already got Kanye on this bitch. God damn.
Fame is a corruptive force. If you're not careful, entering the spotlight can take your morals, ethics, family, and, in certain cases, even your mental stability. Elevated from striving for everything they get, to being able to access anything they dreamed of, the onset of fortunes in their bank account, and endless yes men willing to co-sign their increasingly erratic behavior can have catastrophic results. Just ask Lil Nas X, who went from chart-topping record breaker to wandering the streets in his underwear.
Hey, oh, I seen this freaky ass shit. Bro, I don't know why. He was on top of the world, so why you inside the streets like this, bro?
The party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. No, go ahead, babe. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Go ahead, babe. No, 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 no. Didn't I tell you to put the phone down?
Oh, hell no.
Uh-oh, somebody's gonna have to pay for that.
What the fuck?
Everybody coming to the party.
I ain't watched the whole video. Nah, he wildin', bruh. This is a nigga who had millions, billions of views. And money too. What?
Yes, I am serving you. I am serving you. And you better be at that party tonight. Oh, yes.
After spending his whole life working towards his goals and staying out of trouble, he suddenly found himself standing before a judge for the first time ever.
Nothing like this has ever happened to him.
Has he ever involved himself in drug treatment?
He has not, Your Honor. I actually know of no evidence that drugs were involved in this.
Thankfully, this appeared to just be a little blip in his life, and at the moment, the Old Town Road star seems to be on the mend.
That was fucking terrifying. That was terrifying. That was a terrifying last 4 days. But your girl is gonna be alright.
Now in treatment after pleading not guilty to 4 felony charges and being released from prison following his arrest, Lil Nas X is now recovering, and with any luck, he will escape with his career intact. But he's by no means the first rapper to have a breakdown. In fact, he's found himself feeding into a dubious tradition of artists whose time in the spotlight has culminated in their mental health taking a nosedive. And in some cases, they sadly don't even make it out of this time of despair with their lives intact. It's your boy Luesta, and these are rappers who lost their minds. And when we're talking about artists whose ascent into fame led to a descent in their well-being, where better to start than with a man who went insane to the extent that he did himself some gruesome bodily harm.
What the
and I chopped it off. I didn't think I'm gonna be famous from this. It was just a personal thing in my life. I felt I needed and it should make a difference. And it was kind of like, I'm dying anyway, man. Let me say my last sentence and missing words of what's going on. And I said a couple things to everybody in the room. And it was like, yeah, you know, I jumped off the balcony here. You know what I mean?
You might not know the name Christ Bear, but if you were on the internet back in 2014, then we can bet that you know his story. A member of the group North Star, alongside rhyming partner Miko, Christ Bear became a Wu-Tang affiliate who was intent on putting on for the Shaolin on the West Coast.
What I felt was like, even though I'm from the East Coast, why not support young brothers coming up from the West Coast? Yeah. There's hoods everywhere. And so this was my chance of helping somebody else from the hood. Allen Grunblatt signed them, and they put a record out, you know what I mean?
According to the Wu-Tang Corp website, the rappers have a much coveted spot in the Wu family. But as fame and acclaim came his way, so too did drugs, and a whole lot more dispensable income to take them.
My first PCP experience, and I went through the streets and I was like, yo, I see what the that people see, you know what I mean? PCP is something that can alter reality. You can see something. It's like knowledge. You can see something, and once you see that, you can't never go back. It's like you can be exposed to too much truth, and it can make you nutty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I tried meth.
Over time, this took a toll on his mind until he took drastic action, with his friend's call to 911 recording the hysteria on that scene.
Man, we have a friend that was over here and he just, damn, he's talking this monkey right with us right now. We don't know if he's alive or not. God damn, I don't believe this shit.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
I don't know. We sit on the balcony. He just ran in there and started beckoning. He's alive. He's calling right now. So I guess he's hurt. But you need to hurry and get here, man.
Okay, you with the patient now? Is he there with you?
Yeah, he's downstairs. He just came to right now.
As the news spread about what he had done to himself, it's safe to say the whole thing left everyone baffled.
There is no explanation for cutting off your dick and jumping off a 2-story building. There's no reasonable,
I know that shit gotta
rational
hurt
explanation.
anyway.
So just in my mind, I'm like, this motherfucker's crazy. And I don't want that in my spirit. Like, I really believe in energy. I really believe that certain things you listen to, certain people you listen to, whatever energy they're giving off, whatever energy they have, some of that shit can get into you. Like, I don't want to be laying in my bed one night and even think of cutting my dick off. Like, I don't even want that thought in my head. So I didn't even want to watch the interview.
It was the craziest interview I've ever done in my life.
But once he was healed up, Christ Bear attempted to explain himself to Vlad TV, even if people were skeptical to say the least.
Yeah, I did the cut, and I probably cut too much, man. But, I probably, fuck this, you know what? The world, and jump off the balcony,
Jumped off the balcony.
Up with fuck this world anyway, type shit. Y'all know what I stood for, you know what it is. But it was like, oh, it's just only 2 stories, bam. And then it was like a celebration, and it was a party, and it's still a party, because like, I'm living.
According to the Cali rapper, the intention wasn't purely to inflict pain, but was to make him his purest self.
Next thing you know, I'm in the morning, it was all over my bedroom, like, yo. And people can say, oh, that did that. He chopped off his what an idiot. It actually was a genius plan, I feel, I really love my 9.5 inches that I had. Manhood is not determined by what's between your legs, and that's my mission to show sentient thinking beings what makes you a man. We don't live in a society, we live in a sex society.
Reflecting back on how it all went down, he believes that money led to his downfall.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. When I got Wu-Tang, it was kind of like, we didn't have to pay for anything. So drugs was definitely more accessible, You did a little bit of PCP, you did a little bit of weed, and you drank a little bit. You start getting like $1,000 every other day. You're gonna do a whole lot of PCP. You're gonna do a whole lot of weed. You're gonna drink a whole lot. It got out of control.
Unsurprisingly, his career prospects had dwindled a little in the aftermath of doing this to himself. To begin with, RZA cut him loose.
Will he still be affiliated with you guys, or like you still be working together on some music or stuff, or?
Man, it's hard to predict what's gonna happen to Christ, but man, all I can do is say we got our prayers out for him.
Despite the fact that he was clearly in a bad place, he claims he didn't see the signs that anything was going on under the surface.
Crying at a Bambi movie and shit. Tell nobody you're depressed and shit. When we have mental health issues, we turn to drugs. Smoke this, have a drink. Man, you need to get high. And I think that you got a lot of young artists now, and they do a lot of lean and all this other drugs, and it's definitely got to do with a slight state of some type of depression.
Now, Christ Bear is moving on with his life, even if he is no longer the hotly tipped rapper that he once was. And while you think doing that would be very prohibitive, he claims that he can still get down if he wants.
When I'm actually having the actual act of sex, I'm not like, oh, I wish I had my shit. I'm like totally, I'm in there like I used to be.
Going from someone who literally did backstreet surgery on himself to another who got caught playing with his on a commercial flight, the next artist whose fame crash landed was none other than Designer.
Oh, nah,
Back in the mid-2010s, New York rapper Designer looked to have all the potential in the world. Signed to Ye's Good Music, he literally netted a #1 single in his first attempt with Panda. And after being appointed among the lauded XXL freshman class of 2016, it looked like the sky was the limit. But before long, Designer, who is still yet to release a studio album to this very day, was lashing out at his label and felt that they should have been assisting to a greater degree with his career.
Nobody that's doing this shit for me, bro. Nobody that's doing this shit for me. I signed the Kanye West, the biggest that in the world. Y'all think he's the genius. I just think all that nigga shit. Bro, the mean that is crazy. And the mean, I've been doing all shit by myself.
As time went on, Designer's momentum faded out, leaving people wondering what really happened to him in the first place. Guy was huge in 2016, then fell off the face of the earth before he even put out a proper album. Yet what people didn't realize at the time was that he was struggling, and whatever problems he had in his life, the drama with his label only made things worse.
I wanted Ye to talk to, and it was hard to speak on it, you know what I'm saying? So, I wound up just like, I just was going through, I had like a young emotion stage at that time, but I was having so much fun, bro. I couldn't express myself the way what was going on in my crib to my label mates. So maybe I should never try to run my emotion in the game, but it was just something I would just I was young. I never was taught not to keep your emotions out the game, because I was coming from a place where not too many people made it, bro. And I just wanted to have somebody that, like that big brother stuff at the same time as being in the label, you know what I mean? Not just hey, yo, Designer, yeah, he making us these millions.
Left feeling like he's out in the cold, the next few years following his decline in relevancy led to a dark period where he was hanging by a thread. This led to a variety of bizarre online outbursts, with things like the death of Takeoff seeming to take an immense toll on him.
This version of me is done. It's done. It's done. Y'all wanted it, it's over. Y'all wanted it, it's over.
The fuck you got going on?
I can't go Quay. I can't go Offset. I can't call none of these. I'm done. I can't live like this no more.
This immediately concerned audiences, with people wondering if he was about to lose his mind. And soon, things went from bad to worse with an incident that made headlines around the world. On a flight back from Tokyo in April of last year, Designer allegedly began to expose himself in front of flight attendants and reportedly touched himself in the seat. He was asked repeatedly to stop, and he was eventually taken to the back of the plane. Once he was on the ground, he was arrested by the FBI and charged with indecent exposure. Once he came to his senses and the news started to break, he took to IG to reveal that he'd been struggling mentally and that he was ashamed of his actions. In addition, he claimed that he'd been prescribed meds while in Thailand that he had not been taking. Faced with offender status, and after he obscenely and indecently exposed genitalia in a public place, Designer was eventually sentenced to 2 years probation, 120 hours of community service, and a $5,000 fine. Although there were rumors the sentence was harsher, his lawyer clarified that the misdemeanor conviction wouldn't require Mr. Selby to register as a sex offender. Embarrassing as this was, it was a small mercy, as if he was actually branded with that title, his career would be formally dead in the water. Shortly after this all went down, he did the best thing he could and checked into a mental health facility, dropping the sequel to Timmy Turner just before he went in. Sorry I can't promote it in the way I like because I'm off the grid, but I just want to give you some new music while I take some time away to become a better me, he said in a statement. I'm going through a tough time right now, but I won't let my struggles define who I am. I will come back stronger and make more music that connects with all of you on a deeper level. For those of you dealing with any mental health issues, it's okay to ask for help. Now struggling to course correct and get any semblance of a foothold in the industry again, Designer's career and his declining mental state stands as an example of what can happen to someone when they get too much fame too fast.
I always tell you, there's like a syndrome of rappers who get to fame really quickly. I kind of want to call it the one-hit wonder theory, where that high that probably lasts for like 2 or 3 years, it's that dopamine rush is so crazy that after that run is over and life is treating you like you're not that guy anymore, mentally it's hard to adjust to everything going on, because sometimes these guys still have money, but sometimes that fame and euphoria that they get from all of that is just not there anymore. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I guarantee, we got to think about this. I guarantee when Designer was in the motherfucking hood and broke his shit, he wouldn't have mental problems. I don't think so.
For Designer, his short run at the top and the prompt relinquishing of his fame was enough to permanently damage him. But for others, it is the prolonged exposure to the rigors of the spotlight that have caused some people to fully descend into madness. Chief among them is none other than Designer's former label boss, Kanye West. Now, there's no debate here about Kanye's cultural relevance. Quite frankly, no one could take that away from him.
When it comes to changing the sound of music, dictating exactly where it was gonna go, his impact outside of music, bringing music to even different places, I don't see anyone like Jay-Z's a great rapper, he's a great businessman, and he's a great hip-hop artist too. But if we're talking about the best, personal flaws aside.
But where he was once seen as the voice of people in the early days, when he was taking George Bush to task, his opinions got increasingly outlandish around the time that he started sporting the MAGA red cap. And then, things have only gotten worse, with Ye being diagnosed with bipolar disorder before later refuting that this was anything that he was actually afflicted by. Since then, MAGA Ye has spiraled into an even more chaotic figure, as he went on various podcasts and Twitter rants, making claims about powerful forces in music and fashion that drew widespread backlash for being anti-Semitic. Since then, and even now with his track Hail, he's been seen defending something that ended up costing him billions in canceled deals with Gap and Adidas, making his Drink Champs appearance, aged like milk, left out in the Mojave summer sun.
The thing about it, me and Adidas, is like, I could literally say anti-Semitic shit and they can't drop me. I could say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me. Now what? Now what?
These days, a lot of people cut slack for the anti-Semitism due to today's current climate. But from there, things only got messier. Since then, accusations and lawsuits about what it was really like inside Yeezy led to claims that he wanted to install a cage for students in his school, and that he threatened to punch staff while also giving preferential treatment to white employees. Along the way, he claimed that elites keep celebrities under control by taking away the people they love the most.
My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, we appreciate
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize.
Still, Ye remains steadfast behind his opinions in a way that his supporters would claim actually suggests that he's anything but insane.
In order to be a good firefighter, you got to be willing to run into that fire. And that's what makes me the #1 firefighter. That's what makes me Michael, because I'll run into that fire. Everyone knows that I'll run into that fire for the people in the burning building.
As for others, they believe that his actions are not just random outbursts, but a calculated way to keep his name in the spotlight and stay relevant.
I think that he put himself in a bit, and I believe this to be true. I don't think Kanye believes any of that stuff. In my heart, I think this is all
a game for him.
Yeah, it was a game. I think he went too far, and he knows he's too deep, and he painted himself in a corner. And now he goes, well, if I go fucking bonkers, if I go fucking nuts, if I lose my mind and do crazy shit in front of people
talk about it.
Yeah, and then it'll also be a way for me to go, I told you guys I was sick, which he did. He said he was, he has fucking issues, so it'll be almost on us.
But recently, things have gotten even wilder than before, to the point that this argument seems to hold less weight. Reportedly, Ye is now deep into a nitrous addiction, with his former aide Milo Yiannopoulos accusing his dentist of basically drugging him. And rather than deny it, Ye has pretty much confirmed his avid use of the Galaxy gas.
Ryan Garcia, this Ye, I'm on a nitrous.
As a result, even individuals and commentators such as Joe Budden, who've had some harsh words for him in the past, seem genuinely worried about his welfare.
Unfortunately, I do. And not just Kanye. I do believe
I don't like the source, but
I believe that at a certain level, listen, your primary physician could be the op, your dentist could be the op, your mechanic could be the op. Like, I'm psycho enough to believe some of that. Certainly got an email from somebody formerly in his camp yesterday wanting to do like a little tell-all, but I dubbed it. That's too messy for me.
I think Kanye's a lot of fucking things and a lot of fucking crazy. I mean that respectfully, but a lot of crazy. I don't think he's a fucking liar. Judging by what Kanye has told us about his mental health, yes, I can see addiction being a very easy thing for his brain to adapt to. He's been addicted to porn. He has a very impulsive fucking brain. So you don't think somebody could easily get him addicted to any type of drug? We saw his trainer do it. We saw, now the dentist is where we draw the line?
Whatever he's consuming, it's certainly not helping to quell the antics, and are only intensifying them to the point that he's recently been kicking around in Klan robes and slandering dead comrades. With everything that he's done of late, it's reached a point where it's generally accepted that Mr. West is maybe past the point where his brain could be redeemed. But sometimes, being a proponent of conspiracy theories can ruin a career in its tracks, when you're still supposed to be at the top of your game. For a couple of years, B.O.B. seemed lined up to be Atlantic Records' next big star, because while he was unavoidable for a little while, most people likely don't realize that his debut album, The Adventures of Bobby Ray, literally debuted at #1 on the charts. But it would soon become ironic that a man whose biggest hit was about air travel started believing the flat earth theory, an idea that's older than aviation. A few years on from the release of his most notable album, B.O.B. still had a fair amount of potential, but he was about to promptly flush all this down the toilet when he fired off a whole host of ludicrous tweets about why the Earth was flat and how photos of the planet were faked. NASA forgot to put stars in all the photos of Earth. The cities in the background are approximately 16 miles apart. Where is the curve? No matter how high in elevation you are, the horizon is always eye level. Sorry, cadets, I didn't want to believe it either. Naturally, this got him clowned, but he refused to back down.
I thought we were just kind of just living on this thing, like, yeah, you know, you know. But I used to think like, what, you know, I used to see these pictures and they send them back from NASA, you know, the planets and stuff, and I'd be like, is this really what this stuff look like? Or they just, you know, and so, but you know, I never thought much into it. When I posed the initial question, why are these two cities 16 miles apart, but there's no curve? That's when the whole world blew up.
Even as it led to a literal beef with famed scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil Tyson need to loosen up his vest. They probably write that man one hell of a check. I mean, you were paid to lie to everyone about the Earth being round.
He has to say that to continue to believe what he wants to believe. This is the gapping of the absence of data by conspiracy theorists.
And while he got into his feelings to the point that he dissed him, Neil was unmoved by it all, even if he did hop on a track of his nephew's called Flat to Facts to fire back.
Into hip-hop, okay? Academically and professionally. His name is Steven Tyson Jr. He's into hip-hop. He's got a few albums out there, okay? I said, Steve, what do I do here? Well, you got to do a rebuttal or whatever. There's a word for it. Right. If he's dissed, I had to diss him back.
Right.
So
you had a song called Flat to Fact.
Okay, he composed it. Okay, I you know, he composed it, and so that was the rap wars basically over whether Earth is flat. And so then I left it because it was fun, very pop culture-y. But there's a limit to how much of my time I can spend on this sort of thing.
Over time, things progressed to the point that he launched a crowdfunder just to carry out further exploration into what was really going on.
So B.O.B. is one of the frontier flat earthers, right? He currently has a crowdfunder, this campaign to prove or disprove that the Earth is flat. He wants to launch satellites, weather balloons, drones, blimps.
No way.
We talked to J.B. Smoove about this.
In this world, bro, you gotta allow people to believe in anything they see, anything they feel, you understand? Yeah. Never discourage anyone from believing what they believe in.
Of course not. 100%. He's not hurting anyone. What evidence does B.O.B. have that the Earth is flat?
They have a whole thing. You have to read it.
How would the sun ever go down? But what do you mean, how would the sun go down? Because it goes past the edge of the Earth.
But then it's light. But it's light in Japan. At the same time, it's light in Japan.
Because it comes back around. It zips across.
And as things progressed, he felt that he was unveiling so many secrets that he thought he could be killed over it.
But I did hear that you said you were fearing for your life at one point during that time period. You were did it get serious enough where you were like, all right, let me get offline, let me get some security ramped up?
I mean, anybody. Okay, if you're just looking at the evidence, anybody that speaks truth to power or says controversial things ends up dead. You know what I mean? It's just like, for me, it wasn't even so much the flat earth shit, but it was just like when I was doing the
cloning?
The element shit, yeah. Cloning, all that shit, bro. It's like, they gonna try to get me, bro. Cause it's like, most people, like when they go through that type of shit, that awakening phase, they do it in their own time, but me.
You were doing it in public.
I did it in public.
Bro, we were talking about that right before this.
But rather than peeling back the layers of some grand conspiracy, all that B.O.B. did was sink his career. And in retrospect, he knows that was the case.
Talked about, flat Earth and Apollo 11 and these things and having your own opinions. Did you expect to get the traction that it did?
Definitely had no idea that it would be so controversial. It was certain venues that wouldn't let me perform.
Because of that?
Oh, yeah. Like, it was... Yeah. I imagine, if I said the sky was purple, I'm not sure they would get a meteorologist to come on national TV and address and say, the sky's not purple.
Right.
It must have been worth something. It must have meant something.
Interesting.
If it requires such a response. If it garners such a response.
Do you still hold true to those views, or have you had discussions? Are you in the middle?
I'm so beyond that argument. I feel like it really doesn't matter if it's shaped like a U or a V or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to make sure my people are good, my family's straight.
Now, B.O.B. seems to be through the other side and regained some semblance of his mind. But for some trauma-ridden artists who are still struggling to adjust to life in the public eye, the fight goes on. This is where we have artists such as Kodak Black and NBA Youngboy. At one stage, Yak had turned his life around to the point that people accused him of being cloned. But throughout an appearance on Kai Cenat's stream, Kodak seemed to be majorly tweaking.
I thought your name was Bubba. Hey, oh shit. Oh, his name was. Oh shit. Oh. You see how that like life works? Like, excuse me. No, you good. Excuse me. You good. Oh, stop that.
The fuck, Kodak?
Clearly out of it, the Project Baby seemed disoriented to the point that someone probably should have stepped in. At one point, his attempt at a freestyle left Kai stunned over just how incoherent it was.
She's my lady. P5 not talking Katie. But Kodak, hop on that track. Since you want for me, I said no, I don't want it. I don't want it.
That shit was funny. I ain't gonna lie. That shit was funny. Kodak is on some shit, man. What the fuck?
Since you want for me, I said no, I don't want it. I'm just waiting for the bus. I didn't want it.
Oh, hell no, man.
Then he threw a perk into his mouth from a height, leaving Kai wondering what to do.
That was a glitch for the Twitch. Play the song.
The whole thing left the internet stunned, with people asking why nobody did anything to stop Kodak from being seen in a vulnerable state, as well as speculation on exactly what he'd taken. Where are his real friends? Shouldn't even be allowed to have bra on stream. Nah, this is sad, not funny. He needs rehab. He on meth. But rather than being an isolated incident, this is an unfortunate pattern that did the same years prior, when he appeared alongside Zayas and B.
Oh yeah, I seen
got my
this
boy
one.
Yak in the building, man.
Tired.
That nigga tired as fuck.
Nah, tired. That's what I see.
Okay.
Like tired, like they dead. And they dead like flies. Flies like flies everywhere. Okay, they dead.
What
that
that sample
shit
from?
is just like crazy on me. Some gremlin, bro.
And the funniest thing is they paying this nigga to do this shit, bro. They ain't know what the hell was going on.
Nah, fuck
Then that bitch say, I ain't gonna lie, that bitch just hit different when you play it. It's like every time you listen to that shit just do something, I mean.
Yeah.
Like that bitch got crack in it,
That shit for real.
like some kind of shit, whatever that shit. I'm a no, cause I don't smoke crack and the crazy shit, but it got some shit on it.
Yeah.
In another incident, he fell asleep on Instagram Live.
That nigga gone. Oh my god.
Then there was his now infamous trip to Nori's Drink Champs, where Kodak seemed completely out of it throughout the entire interview.
Gunplay or Ace Hood?
He's wiping his face.
This nigga weird, man.
Let me pour up.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like
pouring shit.
It's like I wanna go gunplay, but I wanna go Ace. But it's just, okay, I'm telling you now, I'm gonna get a nigga they do. I'll talk. I don't give a fuck. Like, what is about? I don't give a fuck. If we want to kill each other, I don't know for what fuck. Cause
what the fuck is he talking about?
That type of shit. But I don't care even if it was that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get a nigga they do. Ace Hood, Brad from Broward. So I'm gonna say like, I do remember at a point in time, like, me getting, like, some aspiration from dude. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit. It was just like how he ran the business. I really didn't want to say that shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, that was the first thing that came to mind.
You didn't want to say Gremlin?
I ain't want to say I knew the perk was fake, but I still ate it from grilling. But that shit was just hard as shit though. I just knew that bitch was what that bitch was gonna do. I'm saying, but I ain't want to say that shit though. I ain't want to say that shit. Cause my dog Sosa and shit, he be telling me like, fam, like
Kodak be on some fucking shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro, but the nigga music is so good though.
Look up you like nothing. I'm on like you up around what you call it there,
Along the way, there have been endless moments which had people thinking that Yak needs help before it's too late.
Huh? No. Huh?
Hey, what's your...
But rather than take any of this advice,
Kodak
Kodak has been
man?
combative to the very audience who are simply attempting to avert his potential self-destruction.
Hell no, I never knew what LSD. Say y'all people like who be on that. Y'all be on all type of shit. Y'all be on shrooms, acid, all type of stupid ass shit. But I take one perk and y'all be so fucking butthurt. Y'all wanna like a nigga anyway. There ain't nothing wrong with me, facts.
But as bad as things have gotten for Kodak, he isn't the only young rapper whose struggles with drug abuse have put him in a tough spot. Over the course of the past 8 years, Control Golden, better known as NBA Youngboy, has progressed from local Baton Rouge MC to a youth culture phenomenon with a rabid global fan base. So much so that he was YouTube's top streamed artist for several years in a row. With that, world domination seemed assured.
I think NBA Youngboy might be the biggest rapper. I say it that. 5 years ago.
What you mean big when you say big?
Ain't no nigga gonna be bigger than NBA Youngboy. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
He gonna. When that little boy get his mind right, and he come from under this bullshit and understand who he is, so when he come out here, he know one thing: the shit he was doing, he ain't got to do. Nah, he not normal. He's special. Big money right there, brother. I think he's a $1 billion nigga. He gonna get it in tour, merchant, music. He a little gangster. And he laid back. And talent-wise, when I see him in the studio, he remind me like young Doug. When Doug was young.
But for a long time, that momentum was squashed by a lengthy house arrest, which took a toll on his mental health. He even expressed this extreme fragility in a rare interview.
I'm terrified of people. I am very scared of people. Like on my kids. I am terrified of people. And I'm very shy. But I never know why once I walk on the stage, I would get it done and leave. But I'm terrified of people. People are cruel. It's like we can't control ourselves. So you never know what someone will do you.
Throughout the course of his lengthy period
fuck is
trapped
you
within his
talking
own
about,
domestic
young
cell, Youngboy seemed to be using Instagram to regularly cry out for help and allude to his extensive drug use. And that's why I don't pick up my phone when it rings, he said in a post, while surrounded by Xanax and a cup of lean. This sparked concern from his fans, who wondered what the motivations behind this were. Bro got everything in the world and wants to die so bad. Weird. I felt like these be cries for help and everyone laughs it off. In another instance, he seemed to be alerting the public to the pain he was in via his cat Neon's Instagram. It's me, Neon. I've been seeing a lot. My dad is so unhealthy, it's scary. He blows his money making people smile who don't care to see the signs that's literally in their face. 20 Xans a day, please help. But what the cat did to raise awareness of this situation is more than what his friends have. Acting more like enablers than anything, they just seem to be there to document it rather than try to stop it. 10 at one time ain't safe. I seen him do 32 in one night. I promise I'm here to talk to him every day. And as pursuit of the pills and other intoxicants continued, he was accused of pretending to be a doctor to secure what he needed.
A cough syrup themselves, that'll be like a nurse or something. But then just their medical terminology was off, the quantities, the way they, pronounced the things. Everything was suspicious.
Like Stewart's case, arrest documents reveal multiple other pharmacies across Utah were targeted too.
In the court documents, it was revealed that this wasn't a singular incident. incident, with the filings claiming that the rapper, real name Contrell Galden, is accused of posing as a medical professional by contacting pharmacies and requesting prescriptions using the genuine names and birth dates of unsuspecting victims. Subsequently, his associates would allegedly collect the prescribed medications from neighboring pharmacies. Among the craziest accusations leveled at Youngboy was that he didn't just pose as a doctor, but as a little old lady by the name of Gwendolyn Cox. But the Baton Rouge accent betrayed his cover. Gwendolyn sounded as though she was a much younger male from the southern states, said an eyewitness who had allegedly been on the phone with Youngboy in disguise. Gwendolyn made a statement saying, "Well, I asked her to, and she said that she'll have you call me," which was a response to a request to have Gwendolyn contact dispatch and have them transfer her call back through. I have lived in the southern United States. The terminology in replacing the word ass with axe or other variations is consistent with a southern dialect in states such as Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, and other southern states. In papers filed by his lawyers, they argued that his inability to get off house arrest was only making things worse. Last year, they cited the deterioration of Mr. Galden's mental health was due to a long period of social isolation. Now finally back in the world and performing in front of his fanatical fan base, let's hope that Youngboy is back through the other side. Because for a while, things look like they might end tragically, much as they did for a 90s rap legend, whose demons were too persistent to overcome. The person in question is none other than the Wu-Tang Clan icon, that is Old Dirty Bastard.
On career, Dirty has always been one of rap's most colorful figures.
People love to be around Dirty. Dirty loves to have a good time. Dirty loves to be under the spotlight.
So when you see what you see what you get, what you get, what you see is what you get, what you see.
He always had something else about him that, you know, almost like it's invisible.
When you see Dirty, you see real. And that's the main word that describes Dirty at the end of the day.
What do you guys do to get back to the community?
Nothing.
He's crazy now, but he tells me it's nothing like publicity.
Throughout his career, ODB...
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks.
Hilarious.
I start by bringing up everything I need to get done in a list view. Next, I set a priority and a due date to keep things on track.
He was known for his crazy antics, even storming award show ceremonies way before Ye was notorious for doing so.
A lot of money today. You know what I mean? Because I figured that Wu-Tang was going to win. I don't know how y'all see it, but when it comes to the children, Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children. You know what I mean? Puffy is good, but Wu-Tang is the best, okay? I want y'all to know that this is ODB and I love you all. Peace.
I was drunk or something. You know, I just got mad, man, because the Wu-Tang didn't win that day.
In another instance, he documented himself taking a limo to get his food stamps.
Are you rich? Are you rich? Of course I'm rich. Cash rules everything around me, baby. Cream get the money, dollar bill, y'all. You never forget that, you know. Rich, you know what I'm saying? Look, just look how I'm living, baby. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got a quarter?
Thank you.
I'm tired of being poor, man. Beautiful things. How much money you got here? All right, we good to go. Come on. Yeah, man. Y'all just sit in the car, right, baby? Man, good old New York. You need a strong hand to guide you through the night. If you want someone who understands, then things can get uptight.
But there was a darker side to the outrageous behavior, including a whole lot of criminality, drugs, and mental struggles. Once hit with shoplifting charges over a $50 pair of shoes, ODB also spent time behind bars for domestic abuse and crack possession.
I'm from the streets. They give me put money in my hand. I don't know what to do with that but to go crazy.
YouTube, he ain't talking about shit, goddamn. That's the end of the video, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Don't be like these niggas, goddamn. Well, I fuck with Kanye, so be like Kanye. And Youngboy. Ooh. It's your boy Sheila's B-Law, man. Road to 5K. We already hit 1,000 subs already. Now we just need those 4,000 watch hours, man. So it's your boy Sheila's B-Law, and we are